Hello everybody and welcome back to Shay's Hobby Doc Bay. I can't even remember if I did a video yesterday or not. I probably didn't because I didn't have anything in stock. I know I had Gracie yesterday, so I wasn't able to make videos. I don't know if I was able to make a video after she left or not. I can't remember. Anyway. Sorry. Today I've had this cough. I hope I'm not getting a real bad cough again like I had before where I couldn't hardly breathe. But anyway, today is, I think today's Friday, December the 14th, 2018. It's 6:15 p.m. right now. And this is for a Saturday video question of the week. Okay. This question is from my friend Audie, who y'all know as Kathy. She is Mississippi Crafty Girl 42 here on YouTube. Okay. She asked, have you ever held a public job? If so, what did you do besides babysitting? Because she knows I have babysat. I've babysat all my life, all through my life. Babies, I've always loved babies and loved taking care of them and playing with them. So I babysat all the time. I started babysitting when I was 13 years old. I want to say that I may have kept like my nephews, my sister's boys, possibly when I was a little bit younger, just for short periods of time. But for a real, babysitting job where I went to their house and kept their kids from morning till evening, while the parents worked, I was 13 years old. And my first job was a 6-year-old little girl. She lived in a trailer in front of my granny. And we lived out on Bowie, in the boondocks, as they called it. Excuse me. And Granny lived in town in a trailer park. And the trailer in front of her was where this little girl lived, and her mom and dad both worked, and they needed a babysitter. And so they asked Granny if I would want to babysit them. So I did, and my mom let me. So what I did, during the week I would stay with my mom, with my granny, in the trailer, so that I would be there and could just get up and walk over to their trailer to keep the little girl. And this was after I had, it must have been during the summer then, something. I didn't have to worry about school. Okay, so, so I would do that, and then on the weekends, Mom would come get me, and I'd go back home and stay with her and Dad the weekend, and then she would bring me back to Granny's. So that's how that worked. And then, like I said, that was my first job. And then I had that Eddie and Charlie that I showed y'all pictures of. I think I've showed y'all those pictures. I think so. They were like probably my next job that I had. But their mom brought them to me there at our trailer. And then I had kept another couple of little boys after that. And then, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I ain't leaving anybody out, other than that one little boy, Jerome, that I kept, and then my friend's little baby that one time, Chris. I showed y'all all those pictures in the picture stories. Yeah, there was the Brian and the Cherie that went to their trailer and kept. That was later, though, I think. But anyway, the couple of boys I was keeping once I got, no, that was Eddie and Charlie. Once I got married was Eddie and Charlie, and I kept keeping Eddie because Charlie started going to school. Okay, then, been married for a while, and I started keeping another couple of little boys. Because I want to say, seems like I don't know, you know how sometimes you remember things a certain way, but you're not sure if that's how it was. It might have been a different way, That's kind of how I'm doing here. Seemed like I want to say that I had started keeping two little boys that were brothers when I was at home with mom and dad. And then later, after I got married and was married for a while, because I had my little girl, my first little girl, Elizabeth, and I was keeping, the mom would bring her little boys to me, and it was the same little boys. Or maybe I didn't keep them at home with mom and dad, because I know later, these certain two little boys I'm talking about, later, my mom started keeping them. And then somehow or another, my oldest sister, Charlotte, got them, and then they handed them off to Aunt Jackie. So Aunt Jackie, my mom's sister, started keeping them too. I think I was out of town at out of state, staying with Becca, my other sister. She lived 6 hours away from us back then. And, so anyways, these certain two little boys that I had started keeping when I was married, and I had Elizabeth, she was a baby. And like I said, I don't know if I was keeping them before I had her or what, or started after. Anyway, I know I kept them for a little while, and then I felt like that I couldn't give my child enough attention having to take care of them. So I just felt like I couldn't do it. So I ended up, I talked to their mom about it and explained it to her, and she understood. So that may be when my mama took over. And then, I don't know, maybe mom had to go out of town with dad, and so Charlotte, my sister, kept them, and then Aunt Jackie sent them and loved them and wanted to keep them. So that's how the job transferred down somehow or another, something or other. Anyway, so, and I can't even remember their names. I remember their daddy and their mama, I just can't remember their names. Anyway, Becca was actually friends with their daddy in school and at seminary. I remember that. But anyway, so, but anyway, I've just babysat. I mean, even since then, I've babysat off and on all through the years. And then we lived on Bowie in Mississippi, my home place, and I started keeping Bailey. And then, along came Cody, her sister, and then their brother, Bubba. And that's my Mississippi babies that I hadn't seen now for a long time. They've grown up, and I probably won't hardly see them again, although I might get to see them at Christmas time, I don't know. Or at a Christmas get-together, anyway. So, and then, just kept going, and we moved to Tennessee, and then that lady in church there that had those three boys, Ike, Ian, and Tookie. His name was Isaiah, but they called him, his nickname from them was Tookie, so I called him Tookie. And then Isaac is the older boy's name, and they called him Ike. Okay, then the middle boy was Ian. They called him Ian. Tookie was Isaiah. They called him Tookie. So I gave Ian a nickname. I called him E. So anyway, I kept them. So now I call them my Tennessee boys. Sad situation there. My Tookie don't remember me no more. Bless his heart. That's so sad. So it's just not the same, So anyways, so that's, I've babysat all through the years. But she had asked if I worked any other public jobs. Yes, I did, Audie. And I guess you can consider them. I really don't know if there's a difference there. I don't know if it's a real public job or because it's family and you're helping family and working with them. It's not really considered a real public job. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But my brother and sister, it's Charlotte, Wyoming Nene, that used to do videos on YouTube, that lives in Wyoming now. Her and her husband, all through their life, has had gas stations. And I worked at 2 of them, I know. These were at different times, of course. And the first one I remember working at with them to help them was right beside the little diner that my mom and dad had. So I took turns. I was a waitress at the diner with mom and dad, and then I did the cash register and took in the gas money at the gas station for my sister. So that was kind of back and forth there. But it's a public job. It's a business out in the public, and dealing with other people. But because it was family and I was helping them, I don't know. And yeah, I did get paid. I probably didn't get paid as much as they paid all the other workers. But anyway, and I was helping the family out, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the gas station job more than I did the diner job. So anyway, I did those. And then later on, and this was just before, not just before, but a little bit before I got married, met Albert and got married, I worked at their Amoco station they had on the highway, which wasn't far down the highway from where we had our trailer then, by their big fine blue house they had built on the highway. Charlotte and them's, not Mom and Dad's. Mom and Dad's was the trailer. So anyway, the Amoco station, and I worked there for them a little bit. And so that's the gas stations and the diner. And I'm trying to think, was there any other... I can't think. Unless that's just all. That may be all of the public jobs that I worked. Okay, not long after I got married, it was during while I was pregnant with Elizabeth, my dad hired me to be kind of like his secretary. He had a little office outside in upstairs his shop, and the job he worked, he had a lot of tickets and papers and things, and he wanted me... Sorry, y'all, I just ate pizza and I'm burping. Excuse me. He wanted me to file them and alphabetize, organize them, and all this kind of stuff. And he paid me a little bit, so I did that. I don't know if that's considered, probably really not, a public job there like that. But, so I did that. And then after I got married and we moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, now let me think. I got a cleaning job, where I had like 2 or 3 houses that I was going to and cleaning for them. That didn't last long. I'm not a good cleaner, so I got fired. But then also later on, there was this cleaning company that would go and clean offices, and when, like, if someone's house, because we had a house that had caught on fire and it burnt. It didn't burn down, but it damaged, and it had black smut everywhere, and we had to go in and clean that, and we had to wash all their dishes, the smut off their dishes. We had to scrub the walls, the smut off the walls, and all this kind of stuff. So I went and worked with them for a little while, and I still just had my first daughter, but she was a little bit older, and we happened to live by a lady that went to our church, and she had a little girl the same age. Matter of fact, they became, Elizabeth and Angel became friends, and so she would keep Elizabeth for me when I went to work, and so there was like, I remember cleaning an office with them, but it wasn't just me, it was me and several other people that was cleaning, but they gave you certain jobs, and then you went with them all together in this their company cleaning van. Let's see, what was the name of the company? Let me think, hang on. I always kind of got it messed up, the pots and pans, which we ordered years ago and have. The name of that, Salad Master. So I always kind of a little bit got confused with those names. Not Salad Master, but it's a yellowish orange looking van, and they had their name on the side of it. That was the company. Anyway, so I remember cleaning offices with them, and I remember 2 houses that we had to go in and clean. So I did that for a little while, but then I had started again feeling like, I was leaving Elizabeth behind, and I was gone all day, and I'd get home at 4 o'clock in the evening, and I just felt like I wasn't spending enough time with her. So I ended up just quitting that job so I could be at home with her. So that was that kind of a job. And let me think. So I am thinking that's probably right there. That's probably probably the only public jobs I've done other than babysitting. I can't think of any more because I didn't do. And I'm trying to think. I didn't do anything else in Vicksburg. We moved back to Mississippi. That was Mississippi, but we moved back to Collins, Mississippi. Um, Trying to think, did I do anything else after I got there in our trailer on Bowie, and then we built our house? I don't think I did. Um, the other things I've done is like volunteer work. I helped children read. Oh, I did that at, I was in Vicksburg for Elizabeth School when she first started school. I was a, what was I called? I wasn't a teacher's assistant, but I was like, I actually came in and I helped make things to decorate the walls of her classroom. And I did some crafting with the kids and stuff like that. And then I would help kids read, the little kids read. And so I did that, but that was volunteer work. At Elizabeth School in Vicksburg. And then when we moved to Collins and out on Bowie, they went to the church's Christian school in Hattiesburg, and I would go there and help the kids read. And then, let's see, I got into Girl Scouts, and I was Girl Scout leader several years, and enjoyed that tremendously with the girls, different ages, the different, you know, I had the brownies, I had the daisies, I had the juniors, and all this kind of stuff. And so it was so fun, and we did crafts, and oh, it was so fun. I enjoyed that. That was volunteer work. Um, so I didn't do any other type work. Like I said, I'm trying to think, unless I've left anything out. If anybody, Mama Charlotte, Becky, y'all remember anything else I've done that I am not remembering and hadn't mentioned, please let me know in the comments below, or call me or whatever, and I'll try to let everybody else know. I can't keep my throat cleared. Ugh. So then we moved to Tennessee, and other than the babysitting job, I didn't do anything else there. And then we moved to Louisiana, Lacombe, and I didn't do nothing there. I didn't even get any more babysitting jobs. My last babysitting job was the boys, Tookie and E.E. and Ike, in Tennessee. And it's probably my last. Since I'm getting older and got all these problems, I'm not really able to keep kids. Now I keep my grandbaby, and that's not a job. I don't get paid for her. That's my grandbaby. I spend time with my grandbaby and have fun and play with her, but sometimes that's hard, you know. So I'm not able to keep kids anymore. But when we moved to Lacombe, Louisiana, I didn't get no babysitting job. And then we moved here to Mississippi, and I ain't got no babysitting job. I keep my baby. And I don't want to keep no more babies other than my baby. There we go. Even though I have, you know, that was my younger years when I was able to do things and handle the kids. I can't do it no more. So I got my baby, and that's enough. So, and I hadn't did any other public jobs, you know, here. So that is my jobs through my whole life that I can think of, and we're in 18 minutes. So, like I said, if I think of anything else, Charlotte, Becky, that y'all remember, please let me know. Audie, I hope you enjoyed the answer to your question. Everybody else, hope y'all enjoyed the question and the answer to it. And I'm going to leave y'all alone now. So I am out of here until next time. I'm gone. Toodaloo.